It's Steve Peters with PHNX, and we're here for another edition of Walkin and Talkin. Today we got Coyote defenseman Troy Stecher. Troy, I'm going to start off with this team. We talked a lot about rebuilds and draft picks and all of those things, and then you rattle off a 9-game point streak. What's so special about this Coyotes team?
I think it's the fact that all the guys play for each other. I think once you kind of leave juniors at the college level, you start to realize it's a business, and guys obviously care about their future contracts, but just kind of understanding where we are as an organization and trying to rebuild. It's been a lot of fun and very enjoyable coming to the rink every day and playing for the guy next to you.
Then we hear that a lot about Coach Tournier and the atmosphere that Bear brings to the guys, and it really, honestly, it shows in the way this team plays. What's playing under Coach Bear been like for you?
It's been a great experience. He's someone I have a ton of respect for. He preaches excellence and he demands excellence from us, but at the same time he's very fair in the way he conducts the lineup and the way he conducts practices. So nothing but good things to say, and I think he's done a great job with this program so far, and as a new guy coming here, it's been very enjoyable.
So you look at you're 28 years old, 7 years in the National Hockey League, and you look around this locker room and you say Yusuf Alamaki, you see Mosier, and Soderstrom's up now. Do you see your role changing in this league
Yeah.
now that you're more of the veteran guy that's helping these young guys find their way in pro hockey?
Yeah, it's when I entered the league, I played with Edler in Vancouver, and I went to Detroit, played with Mark Stahl. Both guys have over 1,000 games, and then I come here and I play with Yuso. I played with Mo. Now I'm playing with Soda. So the three of them combined don't even have 200 games. So it's definitely been a change in my role on the team and what I'm supposed to bring. And I don't know, it's a new challenge that I have embraced, and it's been very enjoyable playing with these young guys and just kind of being around their energy and how gung-ho they are. It's been very enjoyable.
So we talk about you in Vancouver, and I don't know if you knew this because I didn't know this. Do you know you are the first player born and raised in Richmond to play for the Vancouver Canucks? Did you know that?
I didn't know that originally, but I did find out. Vancouver Twitter is pretty wild,
Yeah.
so you don't go...
How was it playing for the team that you grew up watching?
It was enjoyable. There's obviously pros and cons, just like with anything. Ticket requests got a bit outrageous, but it was always nice going home to, to see
everybody
Mom have
wants
dinner.
something. You know, a piece of you there when you're there all the time. But you got to go home and you got to see your family a lot, so that's great. Was there more pressure because you were playing in front of your friends and family?
I wouldn't say more pressure. I think just in general playing in Canada, in that market, there's enough pressure there. So it was something you can kind of embrace. It's something you hear about when you sign there. So more than anything, I think it was relaxing being close to home, friends and family. They could kind of take your mind off hockey. And
just to give people an idea, so playing for the Vancouver Canucks at that time, his first point in the National Hockey League was an assist. Do you know this?
Yes.
Who is it? To Daniel?
No, I think it was...
Was it Henrik?
It was Daniel, because he got jumped
Sedin.
after.
Daniel, that's your first NHL. So it's a player. That's kind of a big deal. Yeah. Getting your first point. Was that at home or was it on the road?
It was actually in Toronto, the center of the universe.
There goes Nick Bukes. I don't know if you knew that, but he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's a gopher.
If you didn't know. See, yeah, we'll get into the Fighting Sioux in a little bit. By the way, were you a Fighting Sioux or were you a Fighting Hawk?
I was actually nothing, and then my last year at Christmas time, they'd officially switched the Fighting Hawks, and then our own fans booed it. So
let's talk about North Dakota a little bit. So you go to the University of North Dakota, 14, 15, 16, Final Four all 3 years.
Yeah.
You win a national championship with some recognizable names. Besser, you got Kajula's there, and Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah.
So when you come here to Arizona and Nick Schmaltz is in the room, does that help the adjustment to Arizona?
Yeah, it's huge. Even before I signed here, is the first guy I contacted, just kind of reach out and see how Arizona was, and he had nothing but good things to say. And then, obviously, once you make that commitment, it makes the transition a little bit easier. So, Nicky's one of my great friends.
I don't know if you know Boyd's from Minnesota too.
Yeah, he's another gopher. We don't like them.
No, I know. Well, that's the big, huge rivalry back then between the Fighting Sioux or the University of North Dakota hockey team. And the Gophers, big rivalry.
Yeah.
And clearly you won a national championship. I was on a national championship team. I didn't play, but I got a ring. So we beat the Gophers bad. But when you talk about transitioning and moving from team to team, it's a tough subject, but this time of year, trade deadline, guys get on edge and there's a lot going on. It's something you went through a year ago.
Yep.
You know, you look at last year's trade deadline, you were in Detroit and you go to LA.
Yeah.
What's that experience like as a player? We talk about it and we like, oh, it's a game to us.
Yeah.
For you, it's your life.
Yeah.
What's it like as a player?
I think when it initially happens, like there's so many moving parts that you don't really have time to kind of process it. Then once you get to the new city, it's amazing how small the hockey world really is. You might have played with some guys in other places, or you played against some guys with some mutual friends. So it's pretty easy to build relationships in the room, but more than anything, I think it's hard on your family.
Yeah.
Whether you have wives or kids, or you're moving cities and taking kids out of school, that's the tough part. But for me, it was easy. Just go there and play hockey.
What about Arizona? You've been here now. Look at this. See? It's funny. It's all funny. What if you did that while he was working? Reverse VH, Schwabi. Get in the reverse VH. It's nonstop here. But and now I completely lost my train of thought. But Arizona. So how has this been? Because you were like Vancouver, great city.
Yeah.
Love Vancouver. A little rainy, a little dreary. Detroit. We know the weather there. And LA, you weren't long enough to really plant roots. So what's it like to play here in Arizona?
It's been a nice change, a welcome change, that's for sure. Detroit to me reminded me a lot of Grand Forks. Just with the weather, is very cold, minus 40. You're not going outside very often, so it's been a nice change coming here, obviously with the weather, and then I think more than anything, my dogs enjoyed it the most.
Yeah, the dogs.
So it's been a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
going outside. I've got a dog too, and trying to take them outside in Vancouver
Yeah.
has got to be absolutely miserable because it's raining all the time there.
Yeah.
So they're used to it though.
Yeah, I got a 100-pound lap dog, so it's not easy to dry her off either. So we got the raincoat now, which as a kid I used to always make fun of, and sure enough, I'm an adult
Now you're doing
and
it?
bought one.
Yeah, for sure you did. So let's talk about one other thing in Arizona that comes up a lot, that we talk about a lot, is the mullet.
Yeah.
And we say that there's mullet magic because you got Tampa, Toronto, Boston, teams that are in the top of the league right now, and you beat them all at the mullet. What's it like there? What's the experience like playing in front of those fans?
It's been unique. It's been enjoyable. It kind of brings you back to the grassroots, playing in juniors in a smaller, full building. So it's been a ton of fun, and I think the guys have done a great job. We've taken a lot of pride in playing at home and trying to make it a tough place to play. So nothing but good things to say.
Well, we've avoided this topic for long enough, and I know everybody at PHNX, when we talk about Troy Stecher, we talk about your fashion.
Yeah.
And to the guys at work, his drip goes hard. So where now, because I've been to Grand Forks, you sure as hell ain't wearing that to go to Ralph Engelstad. No chance. So when did this start, and when did that fashion start for you?
Probably started back in juniors, actually, in Penticton.
Seriously?
Yeah, I would try to wear kind of the same outfits in North Dakota, and the guys would always give me a hard time. But yeah, it's something I've taken pride in.
So do you do it yourself? You picking out your own suits?
Yeah, I pick out all my own fabrics and how I want it cut.
For real?
Yeah, I'm pretty deep into it.
It shows, by the way. I don't see him rocking into the rink. If you haven't seen it, Google him, and you'll see his drips phenomenal.
Yeah, it's fashion before function. Look good, play good. It kind of goes back to that. And
yeah, but I mean, you got the three-piece, you got the vest, you got the shades, you got the slick back hair.
Yeah.
I saw you rolling in LA, like you fit. Like you could have stayed there and started shooting.
Yeah, movies. I don't know. For professional sports, I don't think we have obviously the greatest opportunity of broadcasting or portraying our personalities and what we like to do. So you might as well go crazy with the suits.
So do they know? Like in the room, are you kind of the guy, or like? Because there is other guys in this team that dressed very well.
Yeah, we got some good dressers. Chicky's got some good
Chicky's
suit.
got some good,
Obi's got some good style.
Oh yeah, he's good too.
Valley, he's not my cup of tea, but he does wear some bold outfits. So he's definitely worked on his fashion game.
Well, you're clearly the winner. Some of those colors and fabrics, it's not even close. So we'll make sure we push that out. One other thing we do on our show, and we'll put you on the spot on this one because these get a little tougher. We watch a lot of TV. You probably don't because you travel a lot, but you sit on planes. We do a bit where we talk about the weekend binge, what you're watching on Netflix, what movie, what TV show are you streaming, because we like to give people advice. What is Troy Stecher streaming right now?
Full Swing, the new Netflix golf
Seriously?
documentary. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, a lot of it. So you go right from F1 to that. Did you do F1 too?
I did F1. I've probably finished it last summer, so it's been a bit of time, but very good.
Very similar behind-the-scenes look at a sport. It's great for golf. Check it out. Lastly, just quickly, what's next for you for this season? What are your goals for this season, and how do you think your season has gone so far here in Arizona?
I think it's kind of been two different ends of my season. Obviously, I think offensively it hasn't been where I would have liked it to, but in saying that, I think defensively I've taken a lot of pride, and I like where my game is at. Moving forward, just continuing to try to be a leader. I know I don't wear a letter on my jersey, but I definitely think it's a role I've taken on this year, especially with kind of the younger back end and trying to help those guys progress through their career. And I'd like to stay here, but if I get traded, I get traded. That's out of my control, and I'm just trying to be a good influence every day when I come to the rink.
Thanks, Troy.
Yeah.
Steve Peters, that was another edition of Walkin and Talkin. We'll see you at the next post-game show on Sunday after Nashville. Thanks again to Troy Stecher.
Thanks, guys.